Ladies and gentlemen, we got major news today on Adam Cole meeting with Vincent Kennedy McMahon ahead of Smackdown. Also, we have news on 13 NXT Superstars released from the WWE during this Friday night Smackdown. We got that and more right here on the One For All podcast. What is going on, guys? We got a report by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful that WWE released 13 NXT Superstars. And those names include Mercedes Martinez, Giant Zangier, Asher Hale, Zakarian Smith, Tyler Rust, who has just been a part of Diamond Mine with Roderick Strong. We got Stephon Smith, Leon Ruff, Kona Reeves, which people have been saying he has been getting a lot better in the ring. Ari Sterling, Jake Atlas, Bobby Fish, and Bronson Reed. Well, guys, out of all of those names, Bronson Reed, Bobby Fish, and Mercedes Martinez have to be the most shocking to me, especially a Bronson Reed, who has been doing very well for himself on the NXT brand, especially him being in the ring with guys like Cole, Gargano, those higher upper echelon guys, and he has been delivering every time. The thing I like about Reed is that you actually saw the growth in him over time. He actually came into his own since his debut in NXT, and he was actually one of my favorite wrestlers on this version of NXT, which is slowly dying. But nonetheless, a guy like him, I would be clamoring to have on my roster. Him being released makes zero sense. It's very funny to me that a guy like Bronson Reed can get released, but they keep around guys like an Omos who can barely throw a fucking punch. And they keep around guys like Reginald, who does nothing but flip around in the fucking ring like a gymnast. I call him Gymnast T-Pain because that's what the fuck he looks like. Guys like that have no fucking value at all on the roster. I'm sorry. Because once you take a guy like Omos away from AJ Styles, he's going to be exposed. It's crazy to me that they put all their stock into a guy like Omos, who can barely even fucking wrestle, and try to make him look as dominant as possible. But you can't even do the same thing for a guy like Keith Lee, a Karrion Kross, or a Bronson Reed. But you can't even do anything with Bronson Reed anymore because you let him fucking go. But obviously a guy like Omos has more value to you guys than a Bronson Reed. That makes zero sense to me. And I tell you another thing that doesn't make sense to me. We got Bobby Fish released as well. Somebody that has been a staple on the NXT brand for multiple years, part of the greatest faction in WWE since The Shield. And he put on some of the greatest tag team matches in WWE history. And I'm not an idiot, guys. I understand Bobby Fish was injury prone. He was an older gentleman as well. But that's a guy that you keep around in the Performance Center to help out the younger talent. That's how you help build for the future as well. But building for the future is absent in the vocabulary for the higher ups in this company. Gone are the days of me watching NXT and being hopeful for the future of this company. Gone are those days because Vince McMahon is killing the future right at its source, and that's NXT. NXT might as well be already fucking dead because I haven't been excited for an NXT show in a long time. I remember when it was on the WWE network, I was excited every week for NXT to come around. I was invested in the storylines. I was invested in the talent that they presented to us on the roster. The takeovers were unmatched. But now, NXT is just a shell of its former self. It's maybe just as boring as Monday Night Raw. But you can blame Vince McMahon for that, for throwing NXT under the bus to combat AEW and stifle their momentum. And it did nothing but collectively kill NXT. But Vince McMahon doesn't care. He's probably been waiting for this to happen more than anybody, considering the fact that everybody was raving that NXT was so much better than the main roster all these years. He finally got what he wanted, and that's for NXT to die. With all the releases over the course of the few months, I can't help but to believe that WWE is potentially going to be sold in the near future. On to more news, we have a report by Joshua Gagnon of Wrestling Inc. that a few hours before Friday's Smackdown in Tampa, Adam Cole was taken directly to Vince McMahon's office for a meeting, a talk that was considered quote-unquote high priority to McMahon himself, according to Fightful. Higher-ups had reportedly heard the meeting went well, and McMahon seemed to have taken a liking to Cole on a personal level. It was said Cole was not around during Smackdown. WWE had wanted to bring him in the previous Friday in Minnesota, but switched it to last night. Creative pitches had been made for former NXT champion on both Raw and SmackDown over the last week, if Cole actually did decide to resign. My question is, does WWE really think they're going to get a better chance at re-signing Adam Cole when they just relieve half of his colleagues down in NXT? One of them being one of his closest friends and teammates for his entire stint in NXT. How do you think Cole feels about the release of Bobby Fish? If they want Cole to resign, they sure aren't fucking helping. So Fightful also said that Vince took a personal liking to Adam Cole. So we can either perceive this as a good thing or a bad thing. Because how many times has Vince taken a personal liking to someone and still fucked them over? Zelina Vega being an example of that. I want to believe that Vince having a personal liking to Adam Cole is a good thing, because if he does decide to resign, I want him to succeed. But given WWE's track record, it's so hard to be hopeful. You have a lot of people in the internet wrestling community who defend WWE through thick and thin. But when you do that, you make the people running the company think it's okay to give us garbage television. They say people that complain are killing wrestling. Actually, people that accept mediocrity are. When you accept mediocrity, WWE will never push the bar. Yeah, there are going to be some people that are going to complain whether WWE gets better or not, but I guarantee you that the majority of people that complain because they want the shows to be better. I love WWE, and all I want is for them to be better. I want them to succeed, them and AEW. Imagine being a performer, being able to choose between two companies that are both thriving and producing entertaining television. I bet that'll be heaven for a performer. And it'll also be heaven for a wrestling fan. If you're a true wrestling fan, why wouldn't you want both these shows to succeed? If you're a wrestling fan, why wouldn't you want an AEW to succeed? If they succeed, that could potentially light a fire under WWE's ass and make WWE be better. If you're a wrestling fan, why wouldn't you want WWE to be better? It just doesn't make sense to me. You don't have to pick a fucking side. That goes for AEW fans, WWE fans. That goes for everybody. I don't complain because I hate WWE. I complain because I love WWE. That's like having a loved one who's struggling with addiction, but you don't speak up and tell them that they have a problem because you quote unquote love them. No, if you really love them, you'll speak up and tell them that they have a problem. And WWE has one. The overall quality of their shows aren't good. So when I see reports about WWE supposedly having plans for Adam Cole on Raw or SmackDown, how can I think those plans are going to be good when I look at the plans that they have for other NXT callers that weren't good at all? Us as fans can give all our opinions on where we think Adam Cole should go with the current landscape of WWE and the people in charge. The logical choice would be AEW for Adam Cole. We all say his girlfriend is over there. He has friends there, but he also has friends in WWE as well. He's friends with fucking Triple H and Shawn Michaels, two guys he's idolized as a wrestling fan. Maybe he thinks he has what it takes to become a main event guy in WWE despite his size. Maybe he wants to sign a short-term deal with the company and take a chance on himself. I don't know. I sure think he has all the potential to be a major player in WWE, but at the end of the day, it all falls on what Vince thinks. Does Vince see what we see in Adam Cole? Because if he didn't see anything in guys like an Andrade and Aleister Black, a Ricochet, a Keith Lee, and all the other NXT call-ups that we thought were going to be a big hit on the main roster, how can we trust him with Adam Cole?